BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Morning, everybody. Let's have a look at the charts on Sunday, which anecdotally, I always find that Sunday's the worst day to trade, but it's not always. Sometimes you get decent rallies on Sundays, so we'll just judge a book by its cover, which is the chart. The chart is the cover. That's what I'm talking about here. So, right, let's have a look. So yesterday we were talking about this retest, this Golden Cross retest, a higher low basically, and a series of lower highs. Basic consolidation in the form of, I suppose you can either call it a descending triangle with these bottoms down here, which is again an educated guess as to where the next big bounce would be if we were to drop down to those levels. It's obviously quite a drop to be fair. Where are we now? So we've got to be about an 8% drop. Yeah, but an almost 9% drop, which is again absolutely perfectly acceptable to assume that could happen. Even today, tomorrow, next week, perfectly acceptable. Or this is it. This was the bounce, which was a 200 simple and exponential on the 4 hourly, I should mention, obviously, towards the top of the trend line, this consolidation trend line. It's also backed up by moving averages as well, you see. So we've got 50 exponentials being a resistance here. We've got 50 simple as a resistance here. We've got the 50 exponential resistance yesterday. And right now, even though we're sort of teasing with the idea of, the very realistic prospect of breaking out from here, it's the 20 moving average, so the 4 hourly Bollinger Band center. So let's have a look at momentum. What's going on with momentum? Any considerable upside momentum going on here? Sort of, kind of, really. When you look at RSIs, you can look at breakouts of RSIs, and they're just as good as breakouts of price action. Sometimes probably better, really, because we're always looking at resistances, aren't we? There's always a battle of resistance. There's always a hope for support, and what you see here is the breakout of the momentum. The resistance was broken and retested, creating a higher low, and so now we're using that support to move back up. So you match that with the price action then, so we moved up, hit this top range around here, came down, again momentum sort of bottomed around here, and now we're making another attempt to break from here. So the momentum is breaking out kind of with price action. Price action's been pretty lame, I would say, but as soon as we can get a closure, a candle body closure above $66,000, it should be able to take us back up to the previous high that we saw over here on the 4 hourly, which is also this sort of amazing area on the daily. We've got these big candle bodies. We've got the big drop down, a big move back up, and then back down again, all around that $68,000 zone. And again, look, Bollinger Band center, 67,500. So really, I am talking about 68,000 or above for continuation, major continuation, and that would be back up to the top of the range, maybe even higher, up to we'll roughly call it sort of 76,000. But the Bollinger Band itself is fizzling out around the previous highs. So Bitcoin is not all that bad. Again, we're sort of splitting hairs here to try to form some kind of bias, so we could form a trade, whether you're bullish or bearish. That's all it is. That's all we try to do here. That's all any trader should be trying to do. It's not about being, I was right, man. You hear my correct call. Yeah, you can call all you like, but you've got to be able to make money. I don't know how many YouTubers actually do the trades or how much they actually trade. There's no point in trading, a few £100 here and there. I mean, that's not a job, is it really? That's pocket money. When you got big skin in the game, you really do have to try to be appropriate with that kind of money. You see, you don't want to lose thousands, you want to kind of make thousands. And again, if you're a full-time trader, you can't really afford to lose loads of money consistently, because that's it. You'll make yourself redundant with no paycheck. That's basically what's going to happen there. So all I'm looking at here is, are we going to get breakout and continuation? And if we are, then I'll be calling on the short-term timeframes closures are above $66,000 to take us up to 68, which again is only a baby step, but it's a decent trade because I would expect that to continue. The momentum on the 4 hourly does look like it wants to go, but Sunday being Sunday, which is again, it's an observation. I've not boiled it down to see why or who or how it's not such a great day. my expectation, but my belief is that obviously crypto is its own thing, but just like everything, it's intertwined with traditional markets, forex markets, stock markets, commodity markets. It's intertwined with all of them. And they're closed over the weekend, aren't they? So there's this element of doubt, this element of fear that sort of creeps in towards the end of Sunday, because first we got commodity markets open later on tonight, and then forex markets open, and then obviously the stock markets open tomorrow. And before you know it, it starts to paint a picture of what the beginning of the week and perhaps maybe the rest of the week's going to be like, because there's a lot of money floating around in crypto. Don't get me wrong. But it's minuscule in comparison to the broader markets. Trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions go through those markets, and a few billions go through these ones on a 24-hour basis. So it is a baby, really, with baby money. But it can also be an indicator in itself, where we saw this in the past. So crypto dumping one weekend. Well, I say one weekend. It happened quite a lot actually in 2022 when the market was particularly bearish, and you were like, all right, look at that Sunday dump, big dump, 10%, 20%. You know what's going to happen in the stock market? They're going to use this almost as a pre-market, and then before you know it, stocks pre-markets open, dump, and then the American markets open, mega dump. So it's just an interesting thing, but Sunday is my least favorite days to trade, and also it's because I'm chained to the oven, aren't I? Cooking the roast tea and entertaining the kids. Maybe a game of Monopoly or something like that. It's not really a trading environment for myself either. But that's your Bitcoin scenario. So I'll tell you what, we're going to look at XRP, because XRP is sort of slightly different, kind of changing. It is definitely a little bit better than Bitcoin. If only Bitcoin can, keep its pants up, then XRP is destined to start to reclaim these lost zones. So what we see is the consolidation. This is a bit of an anomaly wick, this one here. So we can measure this in a variety of ways. So we've got descending triangle, which broke out. We'll get rid of that because there's just so much going on in this chart. It does look noisy, I appreciate that, but when you get used to your indicators, this is normal. We are above moving averages, all of them are 4 hourly, which is good. Compare that to something like Bitcoin, we're not. So that does add element of risk to XRP, obviously, because XRP does look good in comparison to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin might just get rejected here, and that'll be that. But we're looking for this to start to make moves back up. So we'll talk about the first one, which is going to be around just below 65 cents, a bit of an intermediate zone, call it 64.2, 64.5. It's also the top of this Bollinger Band, really, which is static. That's what we'll be looking for the first initial move, with a view to come up to 66, really. 66 is a big resistance. Break that, I would say we go straight up to 75, which is a pretty bold move. So let's have a look at this on the daily, where it does look really good, and we're battling with our last level of resistance, which is why I think breaking from here, bang, bang, shouldn't be too much of an issue. Won't happen all in one day. So remember that when you watch this video. If you never watched these videos or any videos before, I don't understand what's going on. By the time you finish the video, it's unlikely that this is going to work out immediately. I know sometimes people are under that apprehension that, I've watched the video and I turned around, scratched my ass, and the price was just the same. In fact, it was 0.1% down, so you were wrong. No. This is a daily time frame. This can take a couple of weeks to play, but so far it's looking quite good. So golden cross, double retest of that. That's really bullish to see that. When you see a retest of a golden cross, you would expect, not that it's 100%, you would expect a V-shaped recovery. That's what you'd be looking for. That happens all the time on all kind of time frames. Not every time, I said all the time, so I don't know what the statistics are, but I believe it to be around 70%, because it happens way more often than it doesn't. And we play these moves all the time. And we see them all the time. And you can backtest them on loads of charts, and you'll see them all the time also. And so we are looking for this to break out with a V-shaped recovery. Candle body highs is 72. Obviously, I see the resistance around 75. But then you can extend this as well. You can extend this to a weekly, where you have the same thing. You got a golden cross, you got retests of it, and retest of it over here, and a V-shaped recovery to the candle body high, which is where we were rejected from. So the weekly's already done it, the daily is working on it, and so I believe with a combination of all of these together, we should be looking for a breakout from here. And the top target, again, no different to what it always is. I know people are getting sick and tired of me talking about XRP, but you know, I have a lot of it. It's where all the profits of all the other successful trades I've been making over this last, what would it be really? We're talking, I suppose, since September, October of last year, really, when this alt season really started to begin. You know, lots of profit made, and XRP still presenting in the same way, which is I'm ready for a big move, and I'm going to do a big move. So do you take me seriously? And I do, because I trade charts. I don't trade anything other than that. So I look at this daily, I look at the 4 hourly, I look at the weekly as really good setup with no change to what my expectations are. Just feel like updating everybody on all this from time to time, because you know, I get a lot of DMs about it, and even though the analysis is more or less the same, and sometimes I feel like people just need to hear it once again. Has XRP changed? Do you believe it's changed? Is everything the same? Has it changed? What's XRP doing today? So look at this as well. So this adds more weight to the idea of a big breakout for XRP soon. Versus its Bitcoin pair, we've been downtrending since eternity. All the way back into 2023 when we saw this big move. This is a long time ago now. So now what we're looking for is a movement up, a breakout from this one. We've managed to reclaim a Bollinger Band center. This is a daily, by the way, and a 10 exponential and a 21, and we're sort of fannying around in a sideways move. We've got giant bullish divergence on the RSI, which is still trending up. So momentum's looking good on the money flow index, on the RSI, on the MACD. And we're looking for this to burst up, and probably first point of contact is going to be up here around 1377. Once you get that, you'd expect a rejection, but also you'd expect a higher low as well. So it's consistent, and it's the beginning, and that is a death cross retest to get a rejection from it, and then bounce up and continue. Once that breakout happens, then you'd be looking for a big move, I would say. The big move you could extend to see the weekly, and you'd be getting another death cross retest up here around 2,479 sats. So that's where it is at the moment. It's all descending, really. That would be your top target, really. That's where you'd be looking to think, right, okay, that'll do for now. You know, I've more than doubled my investment for my Bitcoin that I've put in there, and I can sit back and chill now for a bit. So that's basically it. So yeah, Bitcoin is looking all right. It's pushing that resistance on the short-term time frames. XRP looking much better than Bitcoin, so that's sketchy because we want Bitcoin to succeed or at least stay static so altcoins like XRP can fulfill their targets. But generally speaking, everything looks good for XRP. So if you're in a spot position, I wouldn't be particularly worried. We're bullish above 50 cents, which is something that I keep having to reiterate, because 50 cents is the 200 exponential. It's the bottom of the Bollinger Band on the weekly. So long as we're above that, we're bullish. So just remember that. If you're in a spot position, we're bullish above 50. I don't know where your entry points are, but we are bullish above 50. If we come down to 50 again, it's a buy. It's a big buy from a spot position. So yeah, we're bullish on weekly, 4 hourly, daily. We're looking good. We don't have an amazing signals, but we are bullish in the form of trend. And again, looking at that on the Bitcoin pair, also bullish as well. So basically, bullish is the operative word for the day when describing XRP. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.